Okay, today is February 11, 2014. Let's take a look at the market and some of the stock here. First of all, let's start off with the S&P 500. We talk about S&P 500, the spider over the weekend, about the possibility of retaking this particular level here, this pivot, somewhere around the, let me see, what's that close? 181.69. Right? So you can see that today it's kind of got a little bit slightly above that, so it's kind of we taking that. And right now, there's a possibility that we could see it continue to move up and fill this gap. Then once that gap is filled, then most likely we'll probably be looking at the possibility for the S&P 500 to come up and make an attempt to take out the previous all-time high up here near this 185 level. Right, and the diamond, the Dow Jones 30 ETF, we're also talking about getting back above this these particular level here, right? Possibility of a slight resistance here or near this 20 EMA. As you can see, this thing just sliced right to it today. So right now we're essentially looking for this particular pivot right here. These little price congestion here for the possibility of resistance. If it could clear this level somewhere around the 160, 161, essentially near this 50-day moving average, then we probably be looking at the possibility of getting back up here, on this pivot right here on this pivot close, which is the 162.24. And also pretty much coincide with this little gap here. Similarly, just like the S&P 500, if we could get up and fill this gap, then we'd be, looking at the possibility of coming up and take out the previous all-time high near this 165 area. This is 165.51. That's a high. 155.47 is the closing high. And then on the Q, the Nasdaq 100 ETF, you can see that it is already coming up. This little pivot close here, this like a little bit of a evening star type of a formation here before we got this little pullback, and the close on that little doji is somewhere around 88.78. So we got pretty close. On the intraday basis, it went up to 88.97. So we just have to see this, the continuation of the strength in the tech sector to possibly take this out, because this is, this level here. If I change this to a monthly, we didn't, we had to go back all the way back to somewhere around the year of 2000. That's the last time that we seen that level, up at this, this level here on the Q. So definitely, there's some, strong milestone or major milestone that is being cleared, and people were talking about that the Nasdaq 100 or something like that would never see 3,000 or 4,000 again or something like that. Who knows? We might even see that 5,000, that little dot-com bubble, level. But I'm not putting any money on it. But anything is possible. So never say never, right? So we just have to watch the price action. And certainly right now the Nasdaq, the tech is pretty strong. And if you look at the semiconductor sector, is really showing some strength. So maybe it's kind of give us a little clue of maybe the PC or the tablet or the computing company. I mean, the computer sector is going to be coming back, and maybe businesses will be expanding and start buying more of these computer hardware. So anyway, we worry about that when that time comes, and we'll look at that. But right now, certainly the tech is really strong. On the Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 is a little bit lagging, but still showing some strength because it's, it came back up on this particular pivot we're looking at. We're looking at somewhere around this particular pivot here, somewhere around this 111.21 or 111.20. So right now we essentially want to see, can it get back up to this 113, 114 level? If we could get up, essentially getting back up to this little congestion here, this high level, then maybe the Russell will come back and also, attempt to take out this previous all-time high as well. I know a lot of people is kind of, writing off this rally here because the small cap is not participating as, as strongly as all the other sector, the mid cap, especially the blue chip. So right now, I mean, if we talk about last week and the kind of stuff, even a couple of days ago, people were screaming about the Dow 30 is lagging on all the other guys because the Dow is down and the S&P and Nasdaq is up and so forth and so forth. So right now, we just basically have to focus on the price action and let let the price tell us what gonna might transpire. All right, so let's take a look at Apple. I haven't talked about Apple for quite a while, and right now you see Apple, uh, back here let's go back a little bit in time, right? When we back here, reported earning, and people was talking about this, on this earning report that these guys gonna talk about, hey, these things is gonna go down to 200, 250, and all these good stuff, right? Coming back down here and possibly tagging these level for support and all these Fibonacci and all this kind of stuff. But then they didn't remember there is a $60 billion war chest here, for this stock repurchase. And I was saying that, hey, I think there's going to be kicking in somewhere around this $400 level. And to me, I think this 385 is pretty much a little bit of a floor for quite a while. Then we got this earning here last time, we were saying this, coming down here, and I was looking at the possibility of somewhere around that 500 level that the stock purchase probably will kick in, and not that I know anything, it's just a wild guess. And Tim Cook came out and told us that yeah, they've been buying, some stock down here. When they found that the stock got clobbered by 8% on a good earning report in their mind, they did quite well during the last quarter. So right now essentially we're looking at Apple. It seems like the price action tells us that it want to come back up and try to fill this price gap here, at least this price gap right here. And also there's this 50-day moving average, so a lot of people probably be eyeing this particular level. And when we get a little bit of a resistance here, because it has been up for 8 straight days, so we might get a little bit of a push and get a little pullback before it make its continuation move to possibly get back up to this 556, 557 level, and possibly get back up to this 572 level here, this 570, 572 level. So we just have to watch this the next couple of days to see how how we're going to take out this particular pivot here, this price gap here, and get up to this level. But certainly right now, we pretty much know, right? Until that $60 billion completely exhausted, this 500 level is a floor. Okay, so if anybody trying to short Apple, I'd be very leery about, waiting for it to go back down and go dip below 500. If I short Apple up here, then if it come down, get closer to 500, I'd be covering. But I won't be shorting Apple up here right now anyway. So maybe there will be some short coming in once it get up some resistance and start retracing back up here, like this and coming down, and then people thinking that that's it. Apple had its run and it's going to come back down and get back down to this level, and so forth and so forth. So but that's another scenario that we could look at when the time comes. But for now, I'm basically looking at the possibility of filling up this this earning gap here and possibly make another run back up here to this 570. And if it get up to this 570, I think the herd are going to come in and start pushing this thing up to this 600 and possibly get it back up to this new this all-time high here. Wouldn't be surprised. But for now, just focusing on this particular price gap here and see how it behave, what kind of price action we see, working itself back up to this particular level. And and on Facebook, again, we're talking about Twitter's earning report, and the way to play Twitter earning was basically playing Facebook, and you can see that Facebook came out on this, was playing on this, you see this inside candle here, right? It's calling effect, and it's cutting out, and right now it's kind of testing this, and believe this Facebook has got more to more to go. I'm not saying that. The same for Twitter. I think Twitter got to prove itself to see could it get back above this, these level here, and the likelihood is probably it will try to tag up this level and maybe come down. And it's if break this 50 level, then we might be seeing Twitter coming back down to test these low, just like the Facebook, when it initially came out IPO, and so I wouldn't be surprised. But again, anything could happen if it come down, come up here, maybe consolidate a little bit and then break right through. Then there could be a possibility of coming up and fill this earning gap as well. So this is not out of the out of the card here, but the thing is, you'll have to look at the probability, and I think the probability for that to happen is probably kind of unlikely, but the possibility of it come up to tag this, these particular price point before it reverses down, I think that's that's a good chance that it could do that, so we just have to keep an eye on that one. And I haven't talked about Goldman. Let's take a look at Goldman Sachs. You see Goldman again. It's kind of came down, booked this trend line, and kind of, sort of consolidating within this, this inside candle here. So we got a little bit pretty good coiling effect. So I'd be looking at the possibility for Goldman to break back above this 160. 66 area, and then maybe it could get back up to this 170, and essentially try to test this 50-day, and what it really is trying to get back up to this pivot level here, or this trend line. All right, so maybe in the near term, we're probably seeing Goldman might come up on this, because you look at the MACD, it's kind of turning up, so it's kind of give us a little bit of a positive indication, give us some good positive technical. Let's see what the other one that we want to talk about. Then let's go and talk about this MTM here. I know I mentioned that earlier. And essentially you got this little base and it's coming back up, so likely we might want to see that possibility of coming back to test this particular high. Okay, so these are it's a nice low base here on this pullback. So, and you can see this doji hammer candle is kind of reinforces that we got some exhausted selling down here at this level here, somewhere around this 23. So we keep an eye on that. And then the other one that I mentioned, last couple of days was NQ. A lot of people is looking at breakout, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you might want to consider looking at, rather than playing these breakout, because these are too obvious, right? These breakout, these baseline breakout, right? Versus you try to play these, breakout from pullback. Basically, you see the price coming up and pull back, and then bounces off the pullback, right? Then it pull back again, and then it bounces. Right? So you might want to, look at the possibility of, learning how to play some of these pullback, you know, and then that way, for example, if you got into the pullback here, then right now you basically could be scaling out some of the, some of the profit when it get up to this baseline for potential breakout, because we know a lot of time when too many people eyeing these two obvious level, the breakout move will most likely be a fake breakout. The first couple of time, kind of shake these people off, discourage them, then it takes off, and then those guys that kind of got discouraged start chasing it, right? And that's how the game is played. So you might want to take a look at that. But we're still keeping an eye on NQ. I think there's still, maybe 1 or 2 days is going to, when people start taking their eye off of this guy, maybe want to get discouraged, come down here, then and then start popping it, slowly work itself into this baseline again, and then gap out. Then you can see a lot of people might be jumping on the bandwagon and start chasing it. Okay, so let's see. The other one, basically is a turnaround play that we've been talking about. One of them is, HP. You see this right now, it's kind of holding up this little bit of a trend line. Or a lot of people probably looking at this 50-day moving average support. And once again, on this pullback, we got this little, pullback here at this level. So, and also you could see this, basically breaking out of this pivot on this pullback. So, or, the other thing, the key level to watch is this 30 level. So, pretty sure there's a lot of people watching this level right now. So again, this is one possibility, for a little bit of a position trade, rather than just a straight swing trade. If you want to do a swing trade, you probably could get in here and wait until it get to the 30 and then scale out some and let it run, or see how far it could go. Right? Then the other one is AMD. We'll also talk about a turnaround on AMD. We're basically looking at this. You see this little bit of a trading band, right? Be basically on here, right? So you can see, right, this right here, it's like a little trading band, and or you could, some people might be looking at this like a big, cup and handle. But whatever it is, right, basically, it's a similar to characteristic like an Apple, on earning, it kind of gets sold off after earning because such a high expectation. Then people get disappointed. Then they realize that hey, it's not that bad, right? Then they start running it back up. So again, on AMD right now seems to be bumping up against these moving average here, the 50 and the 200 day. But that's not much of a relevant to me. It's essentially it's trying to work itself into this particular price point and probably into this gap here. If we could enter into this earning gap somewhere around the 382, then we probably will see it work itself back up to this 460 level, and then we'll see how will that perform next time around, because this could be like, you know, third time's the charm, right? Because it's first time, second time. So who knows? So right now, essentially, I was looking for it to come down to the 320, but it came down to this 330 and then started to bounce. So right now, I'm just kind of waiting for this thing to, pull back a little bit. Then when I see that set up a little pivot of reversing and try to take this out, then probably will add to my existing position. I do have a still holding a small position on this because again, this is a turnaround play. It's a little bit of a position trade, not one of those swing trade that maybe a couple of weeks or so. So we'll see how this thing turn out. But certainly there's a lot of opportunity to trade a lot of different stock, but you still have to be careful because the market is getting into that phase of what I call that it could be a topping phase. Okay, because you could see some of this, you know, uh, 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 you know, uh, what I call flight to safety and that sort of thing, and then the narrowing of the population of stock that are actually doing quite well versus some that is not doing so well. Although, a lot of people looking at the amount of stock that is above a 50-day moving average and that kind of stuff, those could be very misleading, right? The 50-day moving average could be much lower now compared to a couple months ago. So if the stock is already sold off and then come back up to the 50-day, doesn't mean that those stock is, stronger than the previous or equivalent, right? So you gotta, take those statistics to be what it is. You really need to look at the individual stock and the population of the stock. And as we look at like the Dow Jones 30 today, you see all the stock is up close to, if not more than 1%, except Cisco, right? So every 29 out of the 30 stock is up, and I believe it's like over maybe 80% of them is up more than 1%. So you have to take into that credence to see how strong that Dow rally is today, versus on the days that it might be up 80 or 90 point or something like that, with 50 point basically coming from IBM, right? So that's a different scenario. So that's why you have to look at the statistic in its true context. So a lot of people to try to use those correlation and say mimic and see that's what it is and that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, that's my little thought. I mean, everybody have their own little thing that they could derive or extract whatever they want. So good luck to you.